Welcome back. Will Brown here. This time for a discussion of Chapter 7 of No Longer Male and Female. I've always loved the verse Galatians 3:28. There's no longer Jew or Greek, there's no longer slave or free, there is no longer male and female, for all of you are one in Christ Jesus. I've always loved this verse, and I've never been quite sure what to make of it. It raises these fascinating questions about unity and diversity. What does it mean to be one? Does it mean that we're all the same? When there are things that are distinctive about us, when do we say that these differences matter? How do we keep those differences from dividing us? If we've all been made one in Christ, then does it make any difference now whether we are man or woman? What does that mean anymore? If you're looking for easy answers to those questions, this book is not going to give them to you. But I do think that Galatians 3:28 is a great place to start that discussion, because this is a verse that lists several things that would have seemed perfectly clear-cut. And it says, those don't matter, that all of you are one in Christ Jesus. I find myself simultaneously nodding my head as I read this verse's beautiful words about unity, and shaking my head, wondering whether Paul is talking about the real world, because I don't know if you've noticed, but it kind of makes a difference whether you are slave or free, Jew or Greek, male or female, right? Biblical scholars interpret Paul's words in several ways, and I'm curious how you understand them. I hope you'll talk about that. But I'm also curious what you decide to do with these words. Because if we take this verse seriously, it has some major implications. By the end of this chapter in the book, I invite you to think about your congregational practices and whether there might be places that this verse has something to say to those. I'm wondering where in the church we divide in ways that run counter to this verse's image of unity. If we divide based on male and female, that in a way we would be appalled to divide based on Jew and Greek or slave and free. Why do we divide male and female in these ways? I ask this not as a gotcha question to say, you're doing a bad job being a congregation, or you're doing it wrong and you should fix this, but because I am genuinely curious what we do with this. And I wonder, might this verse be freeing us from a strict binary way of thinking and acting? Might this be inviting us into a freer, more spacious, more open way of being the people of God? I wish you a lively conversation filled with possibility and difference, even as you remember how we are united in our differences. I'll see you next time for our final chapter together.